Guys, it's Arab Wrestlers You Should Know in commemoration of Americans' Arab History Month. And today I'm going to talk about a wrestling slash Arab issue, particularly going to talk about the Crown Jewel event or events which are currently being held in the United Arab Emirates. Now, this is the honest to God's truth. 25 years ago, I was one of the first guys, or one of the first wrestling companies of North American Wrestling Federation, to figure out the power of keywords and meta tags. That being said, I was contacted by an American who did business over in the UAE and other Arabic countries. Now, I knew this then, 25 years ago, when we were trying to put together a project to be pitched to them because they wanted wrestling over there 25 years ago. And women were expected to be left off the card because they couldn't compete in sports, and also the UAE has very strict modesty mandates, and revealing too much skin can end up in severe fines or jailing. Nonetheless, Natalia, and who did she wrestle again, G? Lacey Evans, were selected for the opportunity and celebrated the breakthrough on social media, showing off their new looks. Now, I remember this, as a matter of fact, and I remember the internet fan talking about how horrible it was that then they personally blamed WWE for going to a country or countries that wouldn't allow females to participate. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I would imagine that those people who really tried to blow this up and really tried to dramatize all this anger, like Starbucks, wouldn't that be a safe bet that these same people that were so angry love Starbucks? Well, guess what? UAE has Starbucks, and they also adhere to these mandates. When in Rome, you do like the Romans do. And trust me when I tell you that they had to adhere to it. I'm talking about World Wrestling Entertainment because of what could have possibly happened. Chances are, odds are, they would have gone after the female performers lawfully instead of the company. But even if they went after both, what female wanted to go over there and risk being jailed? Do you understand? Jail, fine, and maybe worse. Okay? The other thing we're talking about is the deal that they made over there, which was for $50 million per event. What kind of moron would step over $50 million per event? And then they had a long-term deal that if things worked out, they would get more than their share, their fair share. I can't remember the final number of $50 million events. People blame the McMahons. I think it was Stephanie, because Stephanie is a female who sits on the board of World Wrestling Entertainment and the most prominent to the Indian and the internet wrestling community. How in the hell was it her fault or any one individual's fault? As yes, there is controlling interest by certain people in the company, but they're publicly traded, and this would not have been one or two persons' decision. WWE did what WWE does. They went over there, ingratiated him, insured him, and as you can see on the thumbnail, they went ahead and adhered to the United Arab Emirates Code, which is law. You know, don't forget, folks, we still are a country that has law, and as effed up as our laws are, and as effed up as the prosecutions are, and as effed up as the court systems are, we're certainly a hell of a lot more fair and transparent than most other countries. So I'm going to read this to you, and hopefully that you understand it. If you're traveling to Dubai for the first time, one of the main reasons one of the main questions you're likely to have is, what is the dress code in Dubai for tourists? When visiting any country, it's always a good idea to learn about the local culture so you can show the necessary respect for your hosts. With that in mind, this publication put together a guide about dress code. Now listen. Since the national religion of the UAE is Islam, visitors are expected and encouraged to dress in modest clothing. According to the official website of the UAE government, visitors are expected to dress modestly in public places. These include spaces like places of worship and shopping malls. Some important points to remember about the dress code in Dubai for men and women are as follows. Clothing should not indecently reveal parts of the body or display offensive images or slogans. Nudity is strictly forbidden. Swimwear is not allowed in public places. However, it can be worn in pools and beaches. Out of respect for Islam tradition, female travelers will be required to wear abahas or head coverings when visiting mosques. Often, mosques in Dubai will keep these in stock for visitors. Men are also expected to dress in an appropriate way when visiting a mosque. Visitors, both men and women, are encouraged to wear clothes that cover their shoulders, arms, and legs. So as you see, it was about legal. It's illegal, or was illegal. No, it actually is illegal for them to go over there in their gear. And truth be known, there's so many, I'm going to go ahead and call some of them not radical because that word sounds too rough, old school Muslims and old school Muslims with power and in power that had a problem 25 years ago with women wrestling even if they were wearing scrubs. So, as you can see, in the last 25 years, things have changed quite a bit. I don't think there should be any hatred whatsoever, and I think it's ridiculous and preposterous to hold WWE in one way, shape, or form responsible for that. And at the end of the day, look at that happy ending. Look at how happy and proud Lacey and Natalia are. And if I'm not mistaken, since then women have appeared at the Crown Jewel and events over in Arabia, or at least the United Arab Emirates. Okay, guys, please note this is being brought to you commercial-free and sponsored by Premier Pro Wrestling. So at least be cool, like and subscribe, and you can see how to support Premier Pro Wrestling. The link's in the description. I'm Randy Ritchie. This is Arab Wrestlers You Should Know.